Take responsibility for yourself. Exercise your self-motivation and self-determination. Practice free enterprise in your holistic home office. Avoid selfish ambition, which is the dark side of human nature. Read all the stories at homeoffice.studio and watch all the videos to get an exceptionally advanced, entertaining education. Good morning. Figured I need to work on increasing the traffic to my website, and so I figured I'd do a video about that. I got a little tiny bit of traffic. I want to show you what I'm doing and kind of talk a little about it, but I need to focus my attention on increasing traffic, and so I figured making a video about that would be a good idea. So anyway, if I go over here to I wanted to show you a few things about this, that you can do on your website, just a few things that I'm doing. And I don't know if what I'm doing is the best strategy, because I learned all this stuff just by trial and error, and I've tried different things, and this is what my current configuration is. I kind of change it all a lot. The main thing is if you go to plugins, the ones I have on here, the main thing, I have Cloudflare, which is a kind of important issue for me right now. I can go ahead and update these. Yoast is what I use for search engine optimization. So you get that, I got that SEO premium, Yoast. Yoast is kind of like the WordPress of SEO. There's other options. Another one I tried is called All-in-One SEO. It's a pretty good one. It kind of goes with the Monster, what is it? Monster, I used to have that on it. Monster Insights is kind of a deal that does, if you use the Yoast, probably what you would use with that instead of Monster Insights would be Jetpack. Kind of does the same thing Monster Insights does, I think. I'm not sure about that, but they're just ways of making your website. One of them is your SEO, and one of them is your analyzing, and keeping track of your traffic and stuff like that. Now, the other thing I got on here is Cloudflare, which spreads the website out all over the earth. So it's on different servers. So if somebody wants to visit my website in Asia, they get it off of a server in Asia. So it's kind of spread out all over the earth, so it doesn't take nearly as long for somebody to load the web page on their deal. Another thing, so you got this down here. I don't really go on here and look at this very much. I don't know much about this, but it's you got a bunch of stuff here where you can work on your getting all this stuff set up. What you want to do is you want to get into, get all this stuff set up to where you have the Baidu, that's an Asian, Bing is Microsoft, you got Google, Yandex, I believe that's a Russian one. So if you got your website connected to all four of these sites, that would definitely improve your setup. And I know when I first created this website, I set up Google in here, so it should be already in here, but I don't know if it is or not, because I changed so many things. I might have turned it off or something, but so I've got all this. This is just kind of the front page, my little dashboard. This is called the dashboard for WordPress. And here's my Monster Insights. See, I still have Monster Insights installed on here. I should get because I got Yoast. anyway, so that's that. I wanted to show you that because that's you need to work on SEO. I've got to work on SEO on this website because I've figured out, if I go over to Cloudflare, I can look on here. I don't want to really show too much of this because I don't want to get in trouble because this is Cloudflare's stuff. But I can get on here and I can see I've got like a couple hundred views a day. Or is it a day? No, in a month or something. Anyway, I've got a couple hundred people watch this, look at my website every month. And so that's a start. It ain't much because most of them they look at the website for a couple seconds and they move on. So I figure my traffic is practically zero, and so I need to work on improving that, and I'm working on it. And it's the one thing I was going to look at is, let's say I go over here and I open all pages, opens up a list of all my pages. And let's say, let's go to one about writing, or no, let's go to one about website design. So if I go, that's going to be probably about, let's say 5, page 5, should put me about, it's a computer. The website is going to be last because these pages are listed alphabetically. These are all the pages on my website. Space. There's a big one in there, so that takes up a couple pages. Website. So I want to pick out one of the actual stories. The stories on the website are not all that great. I need to go one more page. So it's the very last page for the website. And let's do HTML. Okay, so, and then you click on edit and it comes to this page. And you have this page. You have these links up here. And, and they're pretty, there's the main thing you can get to up here is the a long list of blocks that you can add. And this page, this section over here has a lot of important stuff. This right here is your parent page. You want to make sure you put this in there, and that's what appears up here. On the website, if you go over here and we go over here and click on HTML, then this part right here, programming the web, is the you're putting, you want to make sure all this is right because that helps your SEO. Okay, that's one thing you do for your SEO. And you can edit your URL slug right there, and then there's down here on the bottom, there's more stuff that you need to do. And I did this for a while, like on this one, I've got it done on this one. But as you can see, I don't have everything. I need to work on getting more, improving the work. I've got a lot to learn about SEO, and I need to focus on that right now because I need to increase my traffic. I have some content on here. I want to, I'm not really satisfied with the content. I want it a lot better, but I've got a lot of content on here, and it's good content, and it's time for me to focus on traffic and attracting an audience. And so I need to learn how to do that, and that's what I'm doing. And you can do the same thing, and just, and these are just stories. Anyway, this is just a story. But this down here is important. Right here, you want to get your SEO title. This is what shows up in the search results. You want to get that right. You want to have a little blurb about it. And I can definitely wish I was a little bit better about writing these short little introductions. they call that copywriting. I wish I was a lot better at copywriting, but and so that's what I need to work on, is getting better at copywriting. And so if you go, just sit while we're here. Let's see what happens if it brings this up, and then you can click on here, and it brings this out, and then you can click on these and put all different kinds of what they call blocks in here, and you can move these blocks around. Like I could grab these 4 paragraphs and use this, and I could move them around, which is really handy. I like that, because I edit and polish my stories a lot. I post them. I post my stories as soon as I finish writing them, just about. Sometimes I'll wait for a day, and but then I go back and I polish. I call it edit and polish them, and they get better and better. And so that's one thing you got to do, man. And you got to try to follow, use your Yoast to help you do that. It's going to, you click on this, and it'll tell you what to do. So you read this. Okay, you get the key phrase in the introduction, key phrase. And you got to learn how what all this stuff is. Add related key phrase. So you can have more than one key phrase in each story. So you got to keep doing this and working on. You've got to learn this. This is a skill that you have to learn. Is how to write stories that are search engine optimized. Optimized for search engines. I don't really like this subject because I'm writing my stories because I have an idea that I want to teach the audience, or tell the audience, or whatever you want to call it. And and I don't really care what the search engine says. The only problem is I need to talk to the search engine also. So you got to talk to the audience and the search engine at the same time. And and it's a skill you got to develop, practice. That's what I'm doing, really, is I'm practicing. I've got a lot of website pages up here, and I got to go over. Probably what I'm going to do is go over a lot of these ones that I've done recently, and because I was working, I had that full-time job, and I didn't do anything SEO. I just made the stories and posted them. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is, I've been using Google, and I kind of like Google, but I've been thinking about using something else because, I don't really like the fact Google. They're control freaks, and they're trying to control everybody, and I don't like that. Another deal that I've been thinking about wanting to use is Rumble, because it's kind of like it was started because Google was censoring everybody, and so all these people that were being censored by Google created this new deal called Rumble. But the only problem with Rumble is I looked up the terms and conditions, and I found something I did not like in here. Rumble content policies. Content which you've distributed to any person by any means other than via the Rumble service. Under no circumstances shall the following be submitted to the Rumble service. Content which you have distributed to any person by any means other than via the Rumble service. So apparently what that means is that if I use Rumble, that's the only thing I can use. I can't. and I'm pretty sure I would be able to, you know, send it to YouTube and my website. Those are the two main things I want it on, is my website. And I want it on as many channels as I can get it on. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to spread this far and wide. And they're saying they want like an exclusive contract. And so I've been hesitating to do that. I'm thinking I may put this on there just as a test to see what happens. See if it goes from Rumble and shows up on Google. That's the main thing on YouTube, because I want to be able to, I want it to show up on every, like Baidu, and I don't really care that much about Baidu, but Yandex I definitely would like to get on. I wanted the whole world. I wanted available. That's why I got Cloudflare on here. And so I'm gonna work on that, and I'll try that and see if that I might do that on with this website. Is I'll post it, instead of posting it on YouTube, I'll post it on Rumble and see if it propagates out, if it goes, because I know on the Rumble, when you sign up for, when I put upload a website, when I click on this and upload a blog, I'm not going to log in here right now. When I upload a video on here, it offers me it says put in your YouTube credentials. So I'm assuming that if you put it on Rumble, it will show up on YouTube. And if that's the case, then that would be okay. So it's just, work on SEO. You got to get an audience, and another thing is you can work offline. Create your business cards. I use Vistaprint. I've always used them. Bought business cards from them for a long time. I have my little home office mouse pad, holistic home office mouse pad, and things like that. I got some pins. I got some magnetic deals that you can put on your refrigerator, and so I can hand out my business card. I hand, anytime I need to give somebody my phone number, I give them a business card with, it's the Holistic Home Office business card, and it has my name and email and the website. And so I hand those around, and give those out. And so, yeah, just keep working on, you got to keep creating content, but I need to spend some time. I focus on search engine optimization, focus on attracting an audience. A big part of that is going to be making these stories useful and valuable to the audience, so they're going to want to read them, because that's how this works. You got to have an audience, and they need to watch the whole video, not just accidentally get to the website and then go back to something else. What's going to keep your audience. First you have to attract your audience, and then you need to keep your audience. The search engine optimization is going to attract an audience. The stories, the quality of the stories is going to keep your audience, and so they'll stay and watch the whole video or read the whole story and come back. I want them to come back. And then I also want to lead the audience to my most wanted response, which is to click on the link and and buy my book, because I self-publish books on lulu.com. And the book is a little rough draft, kind of I took a whole bunch of the stories in the website and made it into a book, and it makes it's a good story. It's definitely a good book. It's my first one, and and eventually I'd like to have several books for sale on the website, and that would be, and then I think another thing I'm going to end up doing is doing the little merchandise, holistic home office merchandise. I want to do that. There's the whole affiliate marketing strategy I'm working on. I've got to figure out, right now I need to figure out on getting an audience. I need to stay focused on getting an audience. Once I get an audience, then I'll work on monetizing the traffic, and the content. and making money with it, you know. And I have some ideas about how to do that, but right now I need to work on getting an audience, you know, attracting an audience and then keeping the audience entertained, and so they'll keep coming back and watch more stories. So I guess that's enough for now. You know, now I got to get on KDN Live and make it into a video. I've recorded my page here and my on the laptop. I use the laptop because that's got Linux on it, and I record me on the phone, and I put them together on in KDN Live and make a video, you know, and I add pictures. I could add cut and paste and put different little sections in there and make it entertaining. You know, my videos are really amateur, I gotta say. I admit that, you know, but I'm learning. It's practice. I gotta keep practicing. And now that I don't have that job anymore, I'm going to have to start producing at least, you know, I was doing a video. I was actually doing 2 videos a week, you know, a big one in a blog post, a little blog post. Now I'll be doing more than that. You know, I need to just keep making videos and start making as much content as I can. I'm trying to focus on those stories about computers science. You know, I'm working on it's I've already gone through business, and I made some pretty big improvements on business, but I need to work on KDE Plasma. What I'm trying to work on, I'm reading this book about computer architecture. You know, what is it called? It's called Modern Computer Architecture. Yeah, Modern Computer Architecture, and you know that whole assembly language and C programming and compiling, because I don't really know how to use C, program in C, and I'm working on. That's what I'm on right now, and I'm studying it, and I'm working on writing a story about C, and you know, which is kind of, where did I get that down here? Oh, it's up here. C, machine language, and C programming language, and C++, and Q, you know, all these 4 right here are the main ones I'm really focusing on right now. But right now I'm working on the compiler and learning how to compile software and writing in the C programming language and machine language. And then I'll add C++ and Qt SDK. That I use those to work on KDE. You use C to work on Linux, and then you use C++ and Qt to work on KDE. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. And I want to get to where I know what I'm talking about, a little bit more what I'm talking about. You know, it's okay that I don't know everything, because makes what I'm saying easy for somebody trying to figure this out, because that's what I'm trying to do, is figure all this out. And so hopefully I'll be able to help you figure this out. You know, you're going to be looking at a lot of other sources, a lot of people that are smarter than I am, way smarter than I am about it, and definitely do look at them and read their stories and watch their videos. But my perspective is a good, valuable perspective, and I highly recommend that you read this whole website. You know, if you start over here on home and you read all this is kind of just about me, and it's not really, you know, it's actually a little bit helpful, but you go through here and you read each one of these stories. Some are long, some are short, you know, and it's just, and then watch the video where because there's videos that are just kind of sprinkled around in here, you know. And then you go over here and you read all these stories, and you just start at the top and work your way down through here. And then you go over here and you start at this top and you work your way through here, and then here, and then here. And you read this whole entire website, I guarantee, man, it will change your life in a big way. There is some serious, valuable information in this website. And it's the computer science is a big part about it of it, and I want to do that, but it's not the only part of it. That's just one part of it. There's the business part. You know, your business has to be profitable in order to be sustainable. And be an artist. It's about being an artist and learning how to use these tools, how to be an artist. You know, and then over this part right here is about self-improvement, you know, and take good care of yourself. It's about recovery. You know, I'm a recovering drug addict. I've been clean for 30 years. I haven't used a drug for 30 years, more than 30 years. And you know, and this isn't just about that. It's about family values and self-improvement and holistic health. And Homo Species Hypothesis is a book I wrote, and this is the only place it's published. Is right here. So it's great story. You know, it's kind of my story about everything. You know, so it's a great story. But you know, there's a time and a place to tell stories, and right now this is the best time and place to tell this story. And so this is my website, and I highly recommend that you read it and watch all the video, read all the stories, and watch all the videos. It's going to take some time. There's a lot of content in here, you know. And then of course, if I click on home, it takes me to the blog, which is just you know, what I'm thinking about today. And here you can click on this and buy the book. You know, and it would be very helpful to me, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you think this is a good idea, you know, my target audience is poor working class people or homeless drug addicts, and they don't have a lot of money, you know. So if you think teaching poor homeless people how to make money is a good idea, then I appreciate any help, you know, from anybody, you know. And it's just, you know, I got a bunch of stuff down here. You know, I don't know how official this is. There's a bunch of links to places I like, other websites that I like, you know, I learned from, and you know, there's lots of other ones, you know. So it's just a blog. And so work on attracting an audience, and on and offline. You just got to focus on it, and you got to stay focused on this. You can't get distracted. I have a problem with getting distracted, and I wander off on tangents, you know, like watching videos about calculus this morning. You know, it's like, it's an interesting subject that would really be helpful for me to learn, you know, to understand math and calculus. But I need to work on this. I need to get this going, because I'm running out of resources here, and if I don't figure out a way to earn income, it's going to be, I'm going to lose everything. So I need to work and stay focused on what's important. Another thing is I try to do too many things. I need to finish this project that I'm working on now, which is really write a really valuable story about C programming, mainly, is what I'm trying to do. The machine architecture is just kind of like the pre-story to that, the introduction to the C programming language, and the compiler. You know, learning how to use the compiler and C, and writing stories, and understanding the computer, how the computer works, you know, and how the computer converts C into assembly language, and then into binary, you know, and how all that works. Because I like to understand things. I like to know how some things work, and that's what I'm trying to teach you, is how Linux works. And so have a great day, and I hope you come back and read all these stories and watch all these videos. And peace be with you.